afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. All is going swimmingly here, as you would expect, because that's what I say every video. Just a quick catch up really. I thought, well, this isn't the kind of a video that I've done before, and I thought it would make a very nice change to do something a little bit different. This year has been an absolutely fantastic one for perfume. My collection has swelled, much to my wife's annoyance, and I thought it would be nice to take a moment to just have a look at some of the best fragrances that I've added to my collection this year. Now, these are all 2022 releases. I have added more to the collection. I have got other fragrances that I really enjoy, but they haven't been released this year. So what we're going to do is a whistle-stop tour. Don't know what happened there. A whistle-stop tour of these perfumes. They're not in any order. It'd be very, very difficult for me to grade them or to try to put them in any kind of order because they're all fantastic. And I think we've got eight to get through. Now, some of them I have spoken about, or they've been in videos. Some I haven't really mentioned yet. Some I think you will have seen on Instagram because I've been wearing them all quite a lot, but I haven't really done videos on them. So any of these that haven't featured in a video, there will be a video on the way soon. But yeah, it's just a case of going through, taking stock of what's happened so far in the world of perfume this year, and fragrances that have come my way that I absolutely adore. There's a mixture of very expensive and not very expensive, so we're trying to keep it balanced. Although, in all honesty, these 8 are my picks of the year so far. I mean, well, we've still got November and December, so hopefully, you never know, there might be some other corkers out there. There have been some other fragrances released that I'm not featuring. There's been some new releases that were quite anticipated, things that I've tried and thought were okay, or things that I've tried and thought, well, they're not for me. But we're not here to talk about them. We're here to celebrate these. So what we'll do is, in usual format, we'll go through and have a quick waffle about each of them. And obviously, if you've got any more in-depth questions about them than I'm able to do on this video, please message me on Instagram. And if you're not following us on Instagram, Rich will put the link up there. And that's the easiest way to get hold of me. I'm on there far too much. And I'm more than happy to chat with you about perfume. Okay, so I think we should start. Okay, so first up, this is the one that we've spoken about most recently, and this is Rannoch. This is a collaboration between the Executive Shaving Company in Scotland and Matt Wilson of Norton and Wilson fame. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this one because I've recently done a very long and in-depth video regarding this one. But for £85, this 100ml, beautiful 100ml bottle is outstanding. It has been sent to me, but I absolutely adore it. It's just such an exotic barbershop. It's brilliant. If you like sartorial, or if you like any of the other barbershop style fragrances that I've mentioned in the video, you're going to love this. It's just brilliant. I think this is exactly what my collection's been missing. This sort of spicy, adventurous, ultimately exciting modern take on a barbershop. Beautifully done. Excellent performance. Smells amazing. It's sophisticated. It's classy. It's gentlemanly. And it's very, very long lasting. Can't say enough good things about this one. So this was always going to be one of my favourite releases of the year. Next up, let's have a look at something a bit different. This is called Damber Wabsolute. And this is a little play on what it is, because it's not a new perfume at all. In fact, it's a very old perfume. This beautiful, heavy, weighty bottle is full of this ambery liquid. And what that liquid is a perfume that is following the original formulation of Tom Ford's Amber Absolute. It's exactly the same materials that were used in the original, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's probably one of the nicest ambers I've smelled, and certainly one of the nicest ambers in my collection. I think it's only really the Angela Flanders Amber Nuit that I've got that I prefer over this. It's just brilliant. There's nothing to dislike about this if you like ambers. It's just deep, dark and spicy, and it smells exactly the same as Amber Absolute. Now, It is kind of attached to Soma. It's not an official Soma release, it's being distributed through the Soma website. So if you fancy a bottle, I think there's still some left. And the other great thing about this, because the history of this, basically, Brooklyn fragrance lover Carlos, when he passed away, his favourite fragrance was Amber Absolute. The nose behind the original perfume published the formula, so anyone could make it. And what these guys done is make it. And it's being sold not for profit as well. So this beautiful heavy bottle filled with 50 mils of this amazing perfume can be yours for the sum of £52. So it's an absolute bargain as well. Performance is fantastic. The smell is incredible. If you've ever smelled Amber Absolute, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is it's just such a gift to the fragrance community, and for it to go out through, you know, an established brand like Soma at a non-profit, I think is fantastic. So if you're looking for a stocking filler, or you're looking for one of the nicest ambers I've ever smelt, have a look at Damber Wabsolute. As I say, have a look at the Soma website and you can pounce on it and grab yourself a bottle or treat a loved one this festive season to a bottle of Damber Wabsolute. Fantastic stuff. Okay. Next up, we're going to ratchet it up a bit, and this is a very, very new release from luxury French house Ex Nihilo, and this is called Santal Calling, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, the presentation from Ex Nihilo is amazing. This is £160 for 50 mils, so it's expensive. However, Harrods do have it, and they have their 10% weekends off, and if you've got any Harrods points, it will help bring down the cost. But suffice to say, if you like sandalwood, if you like iris, if you like perfume, you're going to love this. This is a soft, floaty, airy, sweet, intense, musky sandalwood. If you've tried anything from Ex Nihilo, I'm fast becoming a massive fan of the house. This is the second I own from them. You will know the quality that you're getting. It does open a little perfumey, and you'll be thinking, oh, that's quite, but honestly, it's a compliment magnet. People love the smell of it on you, and because of the nature of it, it feels quite heavy on your skin, but it's really light, sweet, and airy. It's absolutely outstandingly good. Blisteringly good perfume. Well, blistering isn't probably the best word to use when describing a perfume, I would imagine. But anyway, take my word for it. This is fabulous stuff. If you like sandalwood and you like being the centre of attention, then this is for you. If you don't like being the centre of attention, just wear it at home, because people cannot help but comment on this. It's one of those ones with a really long sillage, this beautiful modern sandalwood. It's quite milky, but it's not overly creamy. It's not too thick. It's not too stodgy. It's light. It's airy. It's unctuous. It's luxurious. It's the bomb. Love this stuff. Can't speak highly enough about it. Next up, Kenzo Homme EDP. Spoke about this recently. Quentin Bish masterpiece. Full review of this and the EDT below, so check it out. Not a massive fan of the bottle, which, as I said before, it's meant to kind of, I hate the lid, illustrate a piece of bamboo that's been sliced by a Japanese samurai sword, a katana probably. So yeah, interesting presentation. It's a Quentin Bish fragrance, so as you would expect, it's modern, it's airy, it's punchy, it's leathery, it's a little tiny bit aquatic, it's fantastic, it goes on forever, it has the most amazing performance, sillage is out there. It's just potent and beautiful. The reason I haven't included the EDT in this video is because it wasn't released this year. So this is new out. I don't think there's many people, if anybody, talking about it on the internet as yet. But trust me, when people start smelling it, the YouTube channels, the fellow YouTubers, will be absolutely in love with this one. It's fantastic. It's modern, it's leathery, it's a little bit minerally, it's a little bit fresh, it's a little bit aquatic. There's so much going on here, but it works so well. And if you like Bois Imperial from Essential Parfums, or you like Ganymede, you will definitely enjoy this one. I cannot recommend it enough, and it's an absolute steal. It's not a lot of money. I think you can get a bigger bottle like this for around £60–70. So please investigate. Really good stuff. Okay, while we're on the subject of Quentin Bish, gotta have a look at Encelade. Encelade. Beautiful stuff. It came out earlier in the year. Obviously, it was an anticipated addition to the Marc-Antoine Barrios or Bauer catalogue of fragrances with B1, B683, the X-Stray and Ganymede, of course. And this is a slightly different version. There is well, it's not a slightly different version. This is a slightly different take on those kind of fragrances. It is, again, a very modern fragrance. It's got lots of synthetics in there that make it work so well. There is a full review of it on the channel. But here you have a kind of a sweet, fruity, smoky green fragrance, which sounds bonkers, and it is. The opening does remind me quite a lot of Nascimato's Nudiflorum, which is one of my favourite fragrances of all time. So instantly, you know, as soon as it hit my skin, I was kind of initially a bit disappointed that it smells quite like Nudiflorum. And then I appreciated it more for what it is, because the opening is similar to me. And it's this kind of like this burnt rhubarb note that both the fragrances share. As the fragrance develops, it does go in a very, very different way. It's sweet, it's airy, there's a smokiness to it, there's a greenness to it, it's a vetiver, sort of earthiness, but it floats around. It's incredibly potent, very, very strong sillage, but very classical. It's a kind of, although it is an incredibly modern fragrance, it feels class. I don't know, it's a difficult one to describe. It moves around with you everywhere, and it is one that a lot of people, I'm sure, are going to go nose blind to, because it does seem quite heavy. But just when you may think it's gone, but then someone will come up to you and say, "Oh my gosh, you smell amazing," and it will be this. And it's just fabulous. It is expensive. I think it's £160 for 100 ml, so it's not that bad. But absolutely brilliant stuff, and I highly recommend it. So that's Encelade by Quentin Biche for Marc-Antoine Barriot. I've never worked out how to pronounce this. Is it Barriot or Barrioche? I don't know, but it's that. There you go. So have a look at that if you can. Check it in store. It's not a blind buy. It's way too expensive for a blind buy, but it's a super duper fragrance. So there you have it. Okay, next up, from the Italian niche luxury house Juicebox, and here we have Visionary Eye. I have done a very in-depth video on this one recently, but I cannot get enough of it. It's a beautiful fragrance. There's lots of lavender and lots of iris. It's been inspired by David Bowie and the Berlin trilogy, so if you're a fan of Bowie, you've got to have a look at this one. It's just glorious. I wear it an awful lot. I was out perfume sniffing with my friend George, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous George. And he'd been dying to try this. He tried it in Selfridges, and you could see his little face lit up. It's beautiful. It's a really, really class act. It's neither masculine nor feminine, completely androgynous, very, very wearable. You can wear it for any situation in pretty much any weather. I cannot say, and like I've said a lot actually today, cannot say enough good things about it. But it's just beautiful stuff. I mean, the presentation is brilliant. It weighs an absolute ton. You don't want to drop that on you. But I don't know, there's something refreshing about it, yet it's quite deep, and it almost feels heavy, but there's just this, again, a slight airiness to it. It's class personified. Beautiful stuff, and a welcome addition to anybody's collection. I am really besotted with this one, and I can see maybe some people being a little bit indifferent to it, but because of the way this perfume's made, there is nothing in here for you to dislike. You know, it's just lovely. You might not get as excited about it as I do, but you will certainly like it. And as I say, you won't dislike it by any means. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So there you go. Down to the final two from this year. One that blew me away straight out of the box is this one from Soma, and I love it. This is Oud Fortius there's two new Oud fragrances that have come out, and this is a spicy gentleman's Oudi fragrance, and it's magnificent. They've changed the presentation for these ones. They've got the black with gold on top rather than gold with black on top, and it just looks stunning. The bottle's quality. The box it comes in is absolutely beautiful as well. It's just super, super potent, but it's amazing. There's like smokiness in there, there's spices, there's cardamom, a little bit of cumin, a lot of oud, some woods, and it's just it's so wearable. And if you're looking for an oud fragrance that doesn't contain like rose, dang, dang, dang. If you're looking for something that's really unique and really kind of noticeable, dang, dang, dang. If you want to pretend you're the boss at work, wear this. Everyone will assume you're the boss. Doesn't matter how good you are at your job, people will think you're important because it has that kind of gravitas to it. It's one of these fragrances that smells absolutely superb. It's just bold. It's noticeable. It's so well blended You know, there's a lot of potent materials in this fragrance, and if you go down and check through the videos, you'll notice I did a full in-depth review of this one recently, and please watch it. If you like oud, and if you like something different, if you like something that smells unique and really, really noticeable, you're really not going to find a better option than this. It's stunning stuff. I mean, just everything about it's class. The quality of the cap, I mean, that weighs a ton. It looks beautiful. I'm hopefully going to be moving soon. And when I do, I've commandeered a room in the house to have, you know, the lighting sorted so I can put all my perfumes out on display. So when that happens, I've been asked quite a few times actually to put some photos or a video up about my collection, which I don't really want to do. I think that's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit ostentatious. But finally I'll have somewhere to display them, so maybe that might happen in the future, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Soma Oud Fortius, fabulous stuff. If you haven't tried it, please do, especially if you like spicy ouds. That's going to be one for you. And there we go, one more, the final one, and this is a real treat. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and it's from my friend Sean Mayer, and it's called Waking Dream, and I will be doing a full review of this one as soon as I possibly can, because this needs to be smelt to be believed. It's just absolutely glorious. You have this, I'm going to spray a bit now just to reinforce how wonderful this perfume is. If you like iris, if you like sandalwood, if you like amber, if you like musk, this is for you. It's sweet, it's unctuous, it's, I mean, it captures that moment from waking up whilst having a dream. You know, is it real, is it whatever? That sort of ethereal world that floats around, and this floats around as well. And as it's one of Sean's, it's incredibly long lasting, it's very, very potent. But it's beautifully done, and I don't know, there's something about the way Sean makes a sandalwood accord, or whatever material he uses to get the sandalwood, is always sublime. Santal Calling is probably my favourite sandalwood fragrance, and there's a bit of that in this. But it's got this warmth of amber and this sweet, floaty beautifulness of the iris. But it's actually quite masculine. It doesn't become a purse. It doesn't become the inside of a lady's handbag full of makeup and lipstick and all the cliches that we associate with iris. This is something different. This is incredible. You know, I don't like that old ladies fragrance term, because that's incredibly disrespectful to old ladies, but there's none of that here. This is dynamic. And it's not, it's difficult to describe. It's not what you would class as a modern fragrance. Sean uses lots and lots of naturals, so it's not like something like Encelade, which is full chock-a-block of synthetics to give it all sorts of weird and wonderful twists. Sean uses naturals with synthetics, and the synthetics are there to give the perfume stability, to give the perfume the performance that we like, and to help eke out all of the wonderful smells from the naturals. And the two, you know, this style of perfumery just works so well. And if you want a long-lasting, sweet, some of the sweetness will actually drop off as the fragrance starts to, you know, to take shape and form. So you've got a very sort of sweet burst in the opening. But then it becomes so much more interesting than just sweet iris. There's so much going on here. It's probably, I don't know, it's a big call actually, because this one is also sandalwood and iris. They're kind of quite similar, but worlds apart. They're following a similar pattern in the materials they use, but they couldn't smell more different effectively. But I love iris at the moment, and I love sandalwood, so this was always going to be a winner. And if you like those two materials, I strongly urge you try this one. Get a sample of it, because I mean, this is quite an expensive fragrance. I mean, you know, in terms of niche, it's not, but it's still quite a chunk of money to blind buy, and I wouldn't advise blind buying anything if you can help it. So try and get a sample of Waking Dream. It's glorious stuff. So there you go. A lot of waffle, I apologise for that, but I just thought it would be a nice opportunity to talk about some of these fragrances, just to refresh you, to refresh me of how lucky I am to have these. Some of these have been sent to me and some of these I've bought, but I love them all. And, you know, it's just a little moment to celebrate fragrance, I think. So there you have it. 8 of my favourite, or my 8 favourite new releases of 2022 so far. There you go. I hope there's been something of interest to you. I'm a bit stuttery and a bit blah today, so I do apologise for that. I don't know what's going on there. Probably tired. That's the trouble with doing a video after I finish a day's work. So there you have it. Anyway, I think it's time for me to shut up and go away. So listen, thank you very much for your time. It's always appreciated, and we will see you soon on the next video. So cheers, thanks, and